Thanks for joining us. You're still on The Press, reaching you live from the nation's capital in Abuja. Now we are at the segment where we invite guest analysts to, of course, analyze most of the recent happenings and especially what we've read out in the national dailies. And with us in the studio is Sunday Attah, Stand Up Nigeria President, Stand Up Nigerian. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, before we move forward, I'd like to tell our viewers at home that our phone lines are turned on. Of course, we're taking your calls. Remember to turn down your volume of your TV set or you step away from your television. And now I'd like to quickly take one of the lead story where EFCC chairman has said no more operations Think at Night. Do you actually think that's visible in Nigeria that we are in right now?
Well, good morning, viewers. It's a good development. Some of us have, in time past, asked that the EFCC operate more professionally than what they used to before. You know, in a situation where you have people giving you information, so you are not sure of the information they have given you, and so you raid an estate. You're not even sure of the house you're going into, and then you keep from one house to another searching for a suspect. What we know about investigation is before you go into arrest, you must have like 50 to 60% of your fact as to who you are going to arrest. So when you go in the night or early hours of the day to do your arrest, you are sure that upon arrival at the station or at your base, you have just like 30% to do on your investigation, so as not to keep the suspect beyond the time provided by the law, that you can keep a suspect more than 48 hours.
So do you even think it's proper for them to even barge into houses and start checking? Don't you need a warrant or something to actually do all of this process?
Well, not in all cases. There are in some cases where you do a sting operation, it's necessary to do such a movement, but not in all cases.
So does the occupant of that house you're going to search, does that person have the right to ask you for your search warrant?
Well, the person have the right to ask you for a search warrant, but at the same time, if it is an issue that has been under investigation, maybe a suspect that has been on the wanted list, you don't need to notify the person or have a search warrant. You just do your sting operation and get the person.
And what if you actually pick up the wrong person? Because this story leads it's a lead story for something that happened over the week where EFCC picked up 69 students of Obafemi Awolowo University, and then they just released 65, saying 65 out of 69 of them were exonerated, to say, oh, they were not
exactly.
So I mean, 65 out of 69 who did not do their due diligence before going into action.
That's why I said from the beginning that before you dive into a sting operation, your investigating team must have gotten the right information as to who and where the suspects are. But in an event where you are sitting in the office and somebody just pick up a call from a motor park and say, oh, there are so criminals here, boys are in so estate, you have not been able to check your facts well, and then you boom on them in the midnight with this understanding that, oh, they usually do their operation in the night. So you bust on them, and then anybody with laptop you pick, so you don't, your investigation is not right. At that point. I'm sure the EFCC the new chairman has actually studied these scenarios very, very well, and that's why he's changing the narrative to say, no, you don't just bust anymore. They won't tell you what they have concluded at the back door, because it's part of strategic move to introduce a new operational system. So I'm sure that they are going back to the drawing board so as to understand the mood of operation first, understand what you are going to pick, understand the area, understand the crime, and get a little bit, like I say, 50 to 60% of your facts before you swing in.
All right, let's leave that story and move over to other stories this morning. On every newspaper you pick, you'll find a story with regards to NLC president arrested, brutalized in Imo State, lands in hospital. In some parts, they said he was mobbed. He was, his properties were taken, monies, phones, and then comment from the police. They said, I'm trying to look for the statement, the way they made that statement. Adiro held to protect him. That the reason why they held him was because they wanted to protect him. And I'm wondering, protect him from where? From who? And then you just begin to wonder. We've seen the NLC, the TUC president go to have meetings, but all of a sudden they just go to Imo State and then they're being moved. All of his eyes is almost thrown out. And this is a state where they're going to be holding an election in the next few days. That's next weekend. Now, in your thoughts, what are your thoughts in this regard? Let's start in first there.
Well, I must say that the NLC president the situation around him is quite unfortunate, and I sympathize with him and the labor union. But then again, we must understand that the labor union now has a party, and they have a strong candidate in Imo State. All right. So when you see, we must apply wisdom to all we do. If the labor president Ajero has applied wisdom in negotiation with federal government when subsidy was removed, without palliative, they threatened the government, and then the government, called them for a roundtable conversation. They were to go on strike. They just did, noise making stuff and came back to the drawing table
for 2 days. Was that noise making?
For me, because you see, if you are representing the people as a labor leader, you must be very honest with the people. What we have known about the labor union over time in the civil society is the fact that these people sometimes create themselves as institute to bargain for their own selfish gain. So I won't be so hard on him, but I will say that when you are not sincere with the people and the system, sometimes it turns against you.
That's what applies here.
I mean, I'm not saying categorically, because I don't have proper fact as to what led to his arrest and all of that, but I knew he was going to Imo State to probably lead a protest or pressure the government in court to answer to their yearnings and cries. But at the same time, just like I said, you had the wisdom to negotiate with the government. Did you apply that in Imo State? Or it's like, oh, I'm a big masquerade and here you must fall? Now, forgetting that it's an election is just some weeks away, maybe 2 or 1, and then you have a candidate, and your candidate is one of the strongest opposition candidates in Imo State.
So are you saying that they were just partisan? It was just being linked to that party.
You see, so what do you expect the APC, the PDP, and other parties that are contesting this election, most especially the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma, what do you expect him to insinuate when you are a labor leader and you are a labor leader and your organization has a political party with a very strong candidate?
But we are talking of workers here who have not been paid.
That is why I said that it was necessary that he would have operated in more wisdom. At this critical time, it's going to be seen as though you are casting aspersion, though there is an issue against the state governor. And any protest at this moment against a sitting governor who is seeking a re-election is downplaying his personality and downplaying his campaign.
And no one.
So do you actually feel them arresting him was justified?
Well, the police have said in their statement that it was not an arrest.
It wasn't an arrest. But have you seen videos? Have you seen pictures?
I must be honest with you that we cannot do. I wasn't there. You were.
But then we have pictures as proof. Pictures don't lie.
Well, all right. Just give us 1 minute. Let's quickly take this call. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. I came from Lagos. How are you today?
Yes, I'm fine. I hope KAFTAN is doing well.
Awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. You have 60 seconds. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. First, I want to comment on the issue of the president of the Labour. That is. Honestly speaking, let's be sincere. I don't really like what I see, what I saw. It was swallowed. That was a very big beating. But nonetheless, that's not. I criticize that. I don't like that. But nonetheless, I want to refer us back to the time of Annabel that time.
The narrow design.
Yes, so many people died, so many things happened. Labor, Nigerian labor never stopped to kick against that. Even when APC that is affecting, we never had anything labor. We can, some of us can go in the conclusion that Labour Party, even the present one now, they are partisan. There are no two ways about it. And if you look at the Imo stuff, why is it that when election is approaching, that is when he found himself right in Imo State? Please, we are not stupid. But at the same time, what is meted onto him is not acceptable to Nigeria. So that is what I want to see on that angle.
Okay.
All right.
Then, going to the, lastly, going to the issue of people people calling for the sack of Matawadle, Minister of the Minister of State. Yes. I think if it's not performing so well, let Mr. President do away with him. And I can't go with what Mr. President said, and let him follow suit. Whoever minister that is not doing well, let him show whoever let that person just go. So God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I came from Lagos for your contribution. Please land on your thoughts and let's go.
You know, so just like he said, you know, you can't. Ajero was not. I will use the word. It was not wise at this time. It was not the best time to go carry out the protest.
What is the best time? If they say desperate times call for desperate measures.
Now, one of their claims one of their demand and their claim is that the governor has been paying half salary for over 6 months to 1 year. Now, 6 months to 1 year, you didn't see time, no time frame within that time that.
But don't you think this would have been the perfect time?
No, it was never. No.
Because now he's seeking re-election.
No.
Okay. So when should have been the appropriate time?
No, it's security threat to the state at this time.
But there's always been insecurity in Imo State. I mean, we've seen where they've killed people over and over again.
You see, back in Abuja here, when NLC engage in protests, sometimes you see fracas here and there.
Okay.
All right. Talk more of a volatile state at the moment like Imo State. Imo State at this time do not, at this electionary period, just a week to election, you are coming to do protest against a sitting governor. No, that's a security threat in the state.
So do you think that he was just feeling victimized?
No, he was never victimized. Did you at any time heard him say, oh, we called or we wrote to the Imo State governor to have a sit down or roundtable conversation with us and they rejected? First of all, you approach the government. This is what our people told us. We want to hear from you. There was nowhere on the news where they say, oh, he wrote as a president, NLC president, he wrote to Imo State government to say, oh, we want to have audience with you from the national office. He never did that. Rather, the normal thing, I'm going to protest. You know, we know how this thing work. You understand? When you say I'm going to protest, the next thing people call you for negotiation.
Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. Tell us your name or where you're calling us from, sir.
Okay, I'm Mr. Balagana.
Okay, Balagana.
Please turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you.
Okay, I'm calling from Niger State.
Go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
Yes, I want to talk on that emo on this NSC. I want to disagree with the guest there. I totally disagree with him. See, if the governor is not doing well, they should vote him out of office. I totally disagree with him. Governor that has not been paid salary, only people's salary, only pensioners. And this is one of the attitude I want those governors. By the time they leave office, they will be collecting lab pension. It's not the governor, they don't have the fear of God that will be collecting lab pension. When it's not there in the concern, they make the law. Some of them are not ministers, some of them are ambassadors, some of them are not, and they are still collecting lab pension. And when they are there when they are there as a governor, they have been owing salary, owing pensioner. They are not performing. This is the perfect time.
All right.
Okay. The NSC president goes there to go and help them out, and he has the right because he's the overall boss. There is NSC that they have been complaining in the state branch. That's why anyone out the Moshomole was the NSC president to go to state to come and help them. I can remember there is a time that you come to Niger to come and talk, so he has the right to go there to go and help them. Maybe the NSC, I'm so sorry, but this is a personal suspect, that the NSC in Imo State He said that maybe they are just giving them something underground.
Thank you, Babajide. We have to let you go.
I'll be hearing the news now. Which court order?
Thank you so much.
Court order.
Your contribution is very well taken. All right, please, Lando, your thought. Let's move.
So you see, whether Imolites will vote Hope Uzodinma or not, let it be their choice, not a time where you come into the state and create unnecessary unrest in the state. All right. So I feel that responding to the police statement as to say they took him into custody, protective custody, I think is the best thing that the police did, because at this time in Imo State we wouldn't have been able to guarantee that there would be peace or there will be sanity in the state if Labour Party or Labour Union had gone under protest. Because don't forget that the governor of Imo State has his own supporters who is going to view this protest as a way of casting aspersion on their candidate, and that may cause breakdown of law and order in the state. And that is why the police did the best thing by taking him to custody in order not to proceed with that protest. Don't forget that they claim to say there's a court order banning the NLC from even that protest. Don't forget. So when you disobey all of these things, I mean, the police have to work just to keep the work of the police to keep peace and security, protect everyone, including the NLC president, keeping in safety so that he's not harmed.
Okay. So you felt that was keeping in safety here. Well,
like I said, you were not there, I was not there.
So how did it?
Nigerians can be funny.
Okay.
You were not there, I was not there at the point of arrest.
Okay.
He said he was beaten. I watched the video. I was not there when he was beaten. Who beat you? Police? I didn't see police beat you. So no. That's why I said that it was best that police took him to custody. My sister.
Okay, now let me get you straight. They took him in for custody and then he came back with just one eye. Make it make sense.
Well, just like I said, I can't say that the police beat him up because I was not there.
Okay.
It's his words against the police who have not replied.
All right.
All right.
Hello, good morning, Elder Zion.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elder Zion from Jazz. Go ahead.
Good morning, Elder Zion.
You see, what is happening in Imo State is bad. Your analyst, you have a name. You have a name. Sorry.
Elder Zion, you need to turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you.
Okay. You have a name Sunday. And the Sunday is supposed to be a
Elder Zion, can you step away from your TV set or turn down the volume?
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go
Are you
ahead.
hearing me?
Yes.
What I'm saying is that your analysis is Christian. The Bible says, don't invite anybody to do work for you. And you come and start casting excuses for that person. It's a sin. It's not like labor to beg the governor to pay them. It's the responsibility of the governor to exercise his right as the chief executive of the state who employed some people on projects agreed to bring them a special act. When those people finish their work, it's the responsibility of the governor to pay them. The governor was Abuja receive his allocation. Nobody is showing him. Nobody is giving him excuses. Why should we not pay workers? Having said that, I want to say also about what is happening in Port Harcourt. Our people don't know God. We just descendants. We are not godly. We don't fear God. We can rule for 8 more years. Nobody can object it. Nobody removed from seats. Nobody prevented him from carrying out his agenda. Now, one man just came 5 months ago. And he's trouble. He wanted to pocket the man. He wanted to dictate to him. He wanted to tell him what to do and what not to do. Is this democracy? Is this democracy we are fighting for?
All right, Brian.
So, excuse me, please. Annabel, excuse me. You see, Wicked is becoming controversial. Wicked is not. It's the problem. Everywhere he goes, he needs to pay. As I told you, it is Wicked that is responsible. All this problem Nigeria is going to us. Everything we have come to power without watching Wicked it to the nomination.
I have to let you know.
Come to power without what we expected PDP. It's better PDP. That's what Nigeria is suffering from the misadministration of LPC. We can supposed to be judged. It's supposed to be judged.
All right, thank you for that contribution.
Thank you, please.
All right,
May God bless you. Annabel, I want to tell you, thank God with me. My son David, I will be 80 years.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, sir. God bless you all. In Jesus' name.
Amen. God bless you too, Elder Zion, who will clock 80 very soon. We're very happy with you,
Zion.
Elder Zion, we love you very much, you know that. Okay, so let's go straight to other stories. Let's leave that story because we will not end it today. And the Leadership newspaper says federal government budget 33 billion naira for presidential yacht and vehicles and also computers and plenty other things. That's one on the side. Then you go to New Telegraph, says Tinubu seeks Senate approval for 7.864 billion US dollars and 100 million euro loan. And then you move to other stories. Okay, that's on Daily Trust. Anger over planned 7 billion naira renovation of Tinubu Shetima's residence. The writer says First Lady's vehicles to go up 1.5 billion naira. Citizens, Labour Party, CSOs kick, which I know that you are part of the CSOs, so I want to know if you're kicking or not, you're accepting. And the next one says President seeks National Assembly's nod to borrow 7.8 billion naira and 100 million euro loan. Now let's get your perspective in this regard. They tell Nigerians, fasten your seatbelt, tight your bellies. If you were using a V8, V6, if you're going on, if you have to travel by air, probably you need to sit back and do the road travel or the night travel. But then you keep seeing this kind of loan, 7 billion naira used for renovation of residents, 1.5 for vehicles. I was telling Mercy that today is just like we were just talking money. In fact, these days we don't even talk thousands in Nigeria anymore. It's millions, trillions.
Well, you see, again, I would say the government has and needs to be sincere with the people. You see, in a country where you borrow to spend on frivolities, not borrow for production, we will always be going round.
So are you saying renovation of Tinubu Shetima's residence, that's frivolities?
I'm going to tell you something. I was going through the late Mita Masule, who happens to be my mentor. I was going through one of his, one of the days I visited, and he was talking and I was jotting. So I was going through it last night. He said something to us when we visited at the time. He said Nigeria has no, it's not like Nigeria is broke or has no money. That the only problem Nigeria has is how to spend the money they have. Nigeria is not broke. The only problem we have is how to spend our money.
But do you remember one sitting Senate president, the former one,
Nigeria is broke? You see, let me tell you, Nigeria is broke when it comes to delivering dividends of democracy to the citizens, but not when it comes to buying them or having their needs met as lawmakers or government officials.
So basically, you're saying they are there for selfish interest?
Absolutely. If they were not there for selfish interests, some of them, before the approval of this 190 or 180 million naira vehicle to them, which they have, some of them have received, before they came to the House of Rep, before they came to the Senate, do they have that kind of cars?
Are you also referring to the president here? Because he's also...
No. Let me start from the National Assembly. We'll go there.
Okay.
All right. A senator disgracefully came on national TV and said that the reason why they must take that vehicle is because Nigerian roads are bad. So where were you? Were you driving on these same Nigerian roads before you became senator? Which car were you using? So right now, you want Nigerians to stop eating 3 square meal and relocate to 1 square meal a day, so that you can save up more money to buy and make government so very beautiful for yourself, while the ordinary masses suffer. The fact is that I'm appealing to the government. Take it easy on these things. What happened in Venezuela that the citizens, turn against the government? The government were not there to defend themselves. They ran away. May it not happen to Nigeria. That's my prayer. Because there is an extent you push a goat to the wall, that goat will turn and bite you. That's when you realize it has an upper teeth. Because the way they are pushing us in Nigeria today, I bought fuel yesterday for 700 naira. Because I needed my fuel. When I bought fuel of 30,000 naira, even me, I didn't believe. In short, I thought they cheated me. Today, the last administration, they talked about innovation. Before President Muhammad Buhari was exiting office, I saw in the news that they were renovating the villa before the arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Matter of fact, they didn't move into the villa till months after it was inaugurated.
Exactly. Now they are still renovating at a time that Nigerians can't feed.
Just because.
So that's why
I have to butt in. Taking a cue from where you just landed, I'll take that riders again that says First Lady's vehicles to go up 1.5 billion naira. And I recall when during that I think it was around that inauguration period where she stated that her family is the well-to-do. I
took the journey from the National Assembly. All right.
Yeah.
I know a House of Rep member that before he became a House of Rep member, he didn't have that kind of jeep. Yes. I know more than 3 of them. Close people. So if you claim in the last administration, they claim that it was a rubber stamp National Assembly we had. We may have worse in this administration. Because how do you scrutinize a 7-point-something billion naira car for the First Lady when you have just been approved of your own? How? What moral justification, my friend? So we are in a fix in this country. But let me be honest with you, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the intention, in short, he has the blueprint to change the trajectory of Nigeria. But again, the people around him are still going to be his limitation.
But people around him, because now we can't talk about people around him without talking about he himself. Now, he's the one staying in the Aso Villa. Who pushed all of those bills.
The president cannot do everything. That's why he has chief of staff.
Well, he can't be totally unaware of them rebuilding the Aso Villa
for 7 million.
For 7 million.
You see,
and then his wife too is a major part of him. So you cannot.
You see, when
and besides, that's even the reason why he said, "Work or you'll be thrown out."
You see, when the wife recently said that the families were to do, they are not here to take Nigerian money, laba laba laba, and all of that. For me, those are rhetorics. Those are stories that we Nigerians are used to. You understand what I'm saying? Do they need operational vehicle? Yeah. But the question is, what of the one the last administration used? Did they they went with it?
So okay, now let's not to flog this issue too much. Okay, let's assume that the past administration went with it. Do you think this new administration would be able to actually recall, given that it's APC to APC?
At this time, at this critical time in our nation, it is a wrong move to even take loan to facilitate liability. Yes, it's a wrong move. If you are taking loan to revive our refineries, if you are taking loan, you see they keep lying to us. The great inaugurated Dangote's refinery say it's going to start working in 3 days. Is it working now? I have said it and I'll say it again. May they not push Nigerians to the wall. Because as it is now, if your salary, if you are earning even 500,000 and you have a family of 2, I'm sorry, that's no salary.
And then you have elections that are coming up, the Bayelsa, Imo, and then Kogi State elections. You also have the Supreme Court verdict that authenticated President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's election and all. But then I hear you say, may they not push Nigerians to the wall? I'm sure Nigerians at some point, they're already at the edge. Like, don't push me because I will definitely bounce back. So are you throwing the blame at the those in government or even the electorate also?
Again,
so you already have an election ongoing.
Again, one of the callers made a statement and said that the Imo State every governor in Nigeria is their constitutional right or duty to pay salary. That is how much governance in Nigeria has been limited to pay salary. That's where we are. And even at that level, salaries are not properly paid still. Okay, we have reduced it to that level, yet they are not responding. Now the problem is with the electorate. Everybody is campaigning right now. Until we begin to look beyond political party and begin to look at individuals that can deliver not just promises, but can deliver on these demands of the people, then we are not ready. You are voting for the same stories they are telling you. The same person, some in those states, some of them are seeking re-election. What have that person done previously that deserves your vote?
And so you hear someone tell you that I will build bridges, I will build roads. What were you doing?
What were you doing before now that you didn't build bridge? In 4 years you didn't build bridge. Is it in another 4 years you build bridge? You see, these things voice down to the unbearing lies that politicians chunk out to our people. Before we go, let me quickly brush Rivers State. Let me tell you something. What is happening in Rivers State today is nobody to be blamed but the present governor. Yes, I will say it, because before you became governor, you claim things are flying on the news, which I am sure you have heard. You claim he wants this, he wants that, he's making requests, you are turning it down. Oh, that's why it's causing problems, he's fighting you, this and that. Before you became governor, did you not know about those things? When Wike was going up and down campaigning from you, making enemies because of you, were you not aware? When the EFCC was looking for you and Wike kept you at the government house because EFCC can't come there and arrest you as a accountant general of the state and protected you, were you not aware?
Thank you.
So how come today it's now Wike you want everybody to hate? No. We rightful thinkers will not hate Wike. We are going to have problem with you for loyalty. You are disloyal
All right.
And the best thing for you to do at the moment is to go back to your benefactor, the man who has made you governor, today that you have immunity and not been arrested by EFCC.
Well, you already came out to say, so that's you said giving thumbs up to Godfatherism.
No, I'm not giving thumbs up to Godfatherism, but you see, there is always going to be Godfatherism, whether in politics, in religion, in education.
All right, thank you very much, Sunday. We do hope we'll have you sometime on the press, of course, to analyze this River State matter particularly. This is what we wrap it up for the press for this morning. Thank you for calling and thank you for joining us on the press this morning. I remain Mercy Babajide.
And of course, I am Annabel Orji. Good morning and stay safe.
Bye.